The air grows heavy, birds cease their songs, a hush falls over the land, a precursor to the unimaginable. Genocide, a word that chills the soul, conjuring images of unimaginable horror, yet a reality for countless souls across history. This is the story of Frida Umuhoza, a survivor of the Rwandan Genocide, a testament to the power of hope in the face of unimaginable darkness. Amidst this heart-wrenching chaos, Frida's story is a testament to the enduring strength of the human spirit. Hers is a story of survival against insurmountable odds, a tale of courage in the face of unimaginable brutality. Frida's story is not just a tale of survival, it is a testament to the power of hope. Life in Frida's village had always moved at the steady rhythm of the seasons. The radio, normally a source of music and news, had become a harbinger of fear, spewing venomous propaganda that painted Frida's people, the Tutsis, as enemies of the state. Suspicion crept in, poisoning the well of trust that had bound them together for so long. The shift was gradual at first, a slow poisoning of the collective consciousness. Whispers turned into accusations. Casual encounters on the marketplace were laced with thinly veiled threats. The radio, once a source of entertainment, became a weapon, its venomous rhetoric seeping into the homes and hearts of the Hutu population. The night the soldiers came, the moon hid behind a veil of clouds, casting an eerie glow over the village. Frida's family, huddled together in their small home, could hear the dogs barking frantically, their desperate cries echoing through the eerie silence. The soldiers, clad in camouflage uniforms and armed with machetes and rifles, moved through the village like phantoms, their faces contorted into grotesque masks of hatred. A blood-curdling scream shattered the tense silence, followed by the heavy thud of a body hitting the ground. Frida's father, his face ashen, whispered to his wife and children, "We have to go, now!" Under the cover of darkness, they slipped out a back window, the cool night air a stark contrast to the suffocating fear that clung to them. Days blurred into nights as Frida and her family moved through a landscape transformed by fear and violence. The once familiar countryside, painted in hues of green and gold, now seemed alien and menacing. The air, heavy with the stench of death and decay, carried with it the echoes of screams and gunfire, a constant reminder of the horrors they had witnessed. In their darkest hour, when all hope seemed lost, they found solace in the kindness of strangers. A Hutu farmer, risking his own life, offered them shelter in his barn, sharing his meager rations with the starving family. These acts of compassion, small but significant, reminded Frida and her family that even in the depths of human depravity, humanity could still prevail. Their journey was fraught with danger at every turn. Roadblocks manned by drunken soldiers, their eyes glazed with hatred, forced them to take detours, their escape route a constantly shifting labyrinth. The threat of discovery loomed over them like a dark cloud, the fear of capture a constant companion. Frida, her young mind struggling to comprehend the horrors she had witnessed, found solace in the unwavering love of her parents, their presence her only anchor in a world gone mad. They walked for weeks, their bodies exhausted, their spirits broken, but their will to survive unbroken. They witnessed the aftermath of unspeakable atrocities, their path littered with the remnants of shattered lives, abandoned homes, ransacked villages, and the ever-present stench of death. The once familiar landscape of their homeland had been transformed into a graveyard, a haunting reminder of the fragility of peace and the brutal consequences of hate. The weight of their loss pressed down on them, the faces of loved ones lost forever etched in their hearts. Frida thought of her friends, her classmates, their laughter and games a distant memory. She wondered if they too had escaped the carnage, if they too carried the weight of this nightmare in their young hearts. The road ahead was long and uncertain, but they clung to the belief that somewhere, beyond the horizon, lay the promise of safety, a place where they could begin to piece together the shattered fragments of their lives. They had endured unimaginable loss, but they had survived, and in their survival, they carried the hope for a better future, a future where such atrocities would never again be allowed to darken the Rwandan sky. News of the genocide spread beyond the borders of Rwanda, carried on the wings of outrage and disbelief. The world, initially slow to react, finally began to stir. Aid agencies mobilized, their workers risking their own lives to reach those in desperate need. Refugee camps sprang up across the borders, offering sanctuary to the hundreds of thousands who had fled the violence. Frida and her family, their bodies weakened but their spirits unbroken, finally reached the relative safety of a refugee camp in neighboring Burundi. Life in the camp was harsh, marked by overcrowding, disease, and the ever-present fear of the unknown. The trauma of their experiences followed them like a shadow, their sleep haunted by nightmares, their days clouded by the weight of their loss. Yet, even amidst the squalor and despair, Frida began to notice something remarkable: a resilience, a determination to rebuild their shattered lives. The camp, despite its limitations, became a place of healing and hope. Aid workers provided food, shelter, and medical care, but more importantly, they offered a listening ear, a shoulder to cry on, and a glimmer of hope in the midst of despair. Frida, surrounded by the love of her surviving family and the shared experiences of other children who had endured unimaginable loss, began to heal. The camp, a testament to the resilience of the human spirit, became a microcosm of Rwandan society, a place where survivors, stripped of everything familiar, began the long and arduous process of rebuilding their lives. Amidst the tents and makeshift shelters, stories were shared, tears were shed, and the seeds of hope for a better future were sown. The journey ahead would be long and arduous, but the human spirit, like a phoenix rising from the ashes, had the remarkable capacity to heal, to forgive, and to hope. The relative safety of the refugee camp offered Frida a semblance of normalcy. The routine of daily life, though a far cry from her childhood in the village, provided a sense of structure and purpose. She attended makeshift schools, their lessons echoing with the shared experiences of loss and displacement. The children, their young minds scarred by the horrors they had witnessed, found solace in each other's company, their shared laughter a testament to the resilience of the human spirit. Yet the echoes of the past were never far behind. Nightmares plagued Frida's sleep, the faces of those lost forever haunting her waking hours. The trauma manifested in different ways: sudden bouts of anger, crippling fear, a pervasive sadness that clung to her like a shroud. The world, once a place of wonder and possibility, now seemed fraught with danger, the echoes of violence lurking around every corner. Frida found solace in her art. Given a set of crayons and paper by an aid worker, she began to translate the horrors she had witnessed, the pain she carried within, onto the page. Her drawings, raw and powerful, depicted scenes of unimaginable brutality, but also glimpses of hope. A single flower blooming amidst the ruins, a bird taking flight against a backdrop of a blood-red sunset. Her art became her voice, a way to express the inexpressible, to give shape and form to the swirling chaos of emotions that threatened to consume her. Through her art, she began to process the trauma, to confront the darkness, and to find glimmers of light in the shadows of her past. Her drawings, initially a solitary pursuit, soon caught the attention of others in the camp, offering a shared language of grief and resilience. The years following the genocide were a time of profound silence for Frida. The weight of her experiences pressed down on her, the memories too painful to confront, too complex to articulate. The world, eager to move on from the horrors of Rwanda, seemed content to let the silence settle, to avoid the uncomfortable truths that lay buried beneath the surface. Frida, like many survivors, carried the burden of her silence, the unspoken stories weighing heavily on her young shoulders. She witnessed the world's indifference, the way the news cycle moved on, the way the promises of aid and justice often rang hollow. The world, it seemed, had moved on, leaving survivors to grapple with the aftermath, to pick up the pieces of their shattered lives amidst the ruins. The silence, deafening in its totality, felt like a a denial of the horrors she had witnessed, the pain she carried within. The silence was more than just an absence of words. It was a heavy cloak smothering her spirit, stifling her voice. It was the fear of being judged, of not being believed, of reopening old wounds that had barely begun to heal. It was the feeling of being trapped in a nightmare, unable to escape the memories, unable to make sense of the senseless. Yet beneath the weight of silence, a seed of defiance began to grow. Frida realized that her silence was not a sign of weakness, but a form of protection, a way to preserve her sanity in a world that seemed to have lost its own. She understood that her story, however painful, needed to be told, not just for herself, but for all those who had been silenced, for all those who had perished in the genocide. The turning point came years later, when Frida encountered a group of women survivors who were sharing their stories as part of a community healing project. She listened, mesmerized, as these women, their voices trembling with emotion, spoke of their experiences, their words painting vivid pictures of both the horrors they had endured and the strength they had found in each other. In their stories, Frida recognized her own, their shared experiences forging a bond of understanding that transcended words. Inspired by their courage, Frida hesitantly began to share her own story, her voice at first a mere whisper, then growing stronger with each word. As she spoke, she felt the weight of silence lifting, the years of pent-up pain and anger finding release in the act of sharing. The act of speaking her truth, of breaking the silence, was both terrifying and liberating, like stepping out of the shadows and into the light. The women listened with empathy and understanding, their nods and murmurs of encouragement creating a safe space for Frida to confront her past. Their shared experience, their collective strength, gave her the courage to speak the unspeakable, to give voice to the voiceless. In that moment of shared vulnerability, Frida discovered the power of testimony. She realized that her story, far from being a burden to bear in silence, was a powerful tool for healing, for raising awareness, and for demanding justice. Her voice, once silenced by fear and trauma, now had the power to inspire, to challenge, and to effect change. Section 4. The Power of Testimony. Frida's story, once a source of shame and silence, became a beacon of hope and resilience. She began to share her testimony at community gatherings, her voice gaining strength and clarity with each telling. Her words, simple yet profound, painted a harrowing picture of the genocide, reminding her listeners of the human cost of hatred and indifference. She spoke of the unimaginable brutality she had witnessed, the loss of her loved ones, the pain that she continued to carry. But she also spoke of forgiveness, of the importance of remembering, of the need to break the cycle of violence. She challenged her listeners to confront their own prejudices, to stand up for justice, to build a future where such atrocities would never again be allowed to happen. Her words, imbued with the hard-won wisdom of a survivor, resonated deeply with her audience, sparking conversations, challenging perceptions, and igniting a collective desire for healing and reconciliation. Frida's story transcended the boundaries of language and culture, touching the hearts of people from all walks of life. Her testimony, a powerful reminder of the resilience of the human spirit, served as a call to action, urging her listeners to confront injustice and to work towards a more just and compassionate world. Her story, shared with raw honesty and unwavering courage, became a catalyst for change, inspiring others to break their own silences, to demand accountability, and to work towards a future where the echoes of hatred and violence would be replaced by the sounds of peace and reconciliation. Frida, once a victim of unspeakable horrors, had found her voice, and in doing so, she had become a powerful advocate for justice, a testament to the transformative power of speaking truth to power. Section 5. Seeds of Forgiveness, Blossoms of Hope. Frida's journey towards healing was not linear. There were days when the darkness threatened to engulf her, when the weight of her loss felt unbearable. Yet she clung to the hope that had sustained her through the darkest of times, the belief that even in the face of unimaginable cruelty, the human spirit could endure, could heal, could forgive. She learned that forgiveness was not about condoning the actions of the perpetrators, but about freeing herself from the shackles of hatred and anger that threatened to poison her soul. It was a long and arduous process, a daily choice to embrace compassion over bitterness, to choose hope over despair. It was in the quiet moments of reflection, in the company of fellow survivors, and in the act of sharing her story that Frida found the strength to forgive, not just others, but also herself. Frida's journey of healing and forgiveness was an inspiration to her community and a testament to the power of the human spirit to overcome even the most unimaginable adversity. Her story, a testament to the resilience of the human spirit, offered a glimmer of hope in the face of despair, a reminder that even in the aftermath of unimaginable tragedy, the seeds of forgiveness and compassion could take root and blossom. She became a symbol of hope for a nation grappling with the legacy of genocide, her story a testament to the power of truth, justice, and reconciliation. Frida's life, a tapestry woven with threads of both unimaginable pain and extraordinary resilience, stood as a powerful reminder that even in the darkest of times, the human spirit, like a phoenix rising from the ashes, has the capacity to heal, to forgive, and to hope. Section 1. A Tapestry of Healing. The aftermath of the Rwandan Genocide left a nation shattered, its social fabric torn apart, its landscape scarred by violence. The road to recovery was long and arduous, a journey that demanded not only individual resilience but also a collective commitment to healing and reconciliation. Amidst the ruins, communities began the painstaking process of rebuilding their lives, their efforts supported by a growing network of international organizations and individuals drawn to the immense task of restoring hope to a nation devastated by unimaginable loss. The international community, initially slow to respond to the crisis, began to mobilize resources to address the humanitarian crisis unfolding in Rwanda. Aid organizations, their presence a beacon of hope in the midst of despair, provided food, shelter, medical care, and psychosocial support to survivors grappling with the trauma of their experiences. Refugee camps, once symbols of displacement and loss, gradually transformed into spaces of healing and community, their makeshift shelters echoing with stories of resilience and the enduring power of the human spirit. The process of rebuilding extended far beyond the provision of material aid. It required addressing the deep wounds inflicted on the social fabric of Rwandan society, the shattered trust between neighbors, the legacy of hatred and division that had fueled the genocide. Reconciliation, a fragile and complex process, demanded a commitment to truth, justice, and a shared vision of a future where such horrors would never again be allowed to occur. The journey towards healing was not without its challenges. The scars of the genocide ran deep, the memories too painful to forget, the wounds too raw to heal overnight. The weight of loss pressed down on survivors, the faces of loved ones lost forever etched in their hearts. The echoes of violence lingered in the air, a constant reminder of the fragility of peace and the ever-present potential for hatred to resurface. Amidst the ruins, a remarkable movement emerged, a movement driven by the belief in the healing power of storytelling. Survivors, their voices trembling with emotion, began to share their experiences, their words painting vivid pictures of both the horrors they had endured and the strength they had found in each other. These stories, shared in community gatherings, in classrooms, and around cooking fires, became a powerful tool for breaking down walls of silence and fostering empathy and understanding. Organizations like the Kigali Genocide Memorial and Aegis Trust played a vital role in creating platforms for survivors to share their stories and to engage in dialogue about the root causes of the genocide. These spaces, dedicated to remembrance, reflection, and reconciliation, served as powerful reminders of the human cost of hatred and indifference, while also offering hope for a more just and peaceful future. The act of sharing their stories was both cathartic and empowering for survivors. It allowed them to reclaim their narratives, to break free from the shackles of silence and shame that had kept them captive for so long. By giving voice to their experiences, they transformed their pain into a powerful force for change, inspiring others to confront the truth of the genocide and to work towards preventing future atrocities. The power of these stories extended far beyond the borders of Rwanda. Shared through books, films, and documentaries, they reached a global audience, raising awareness about the genocide and challenging the world to confront its own complicity in the face of such horrors. These stories, imbued with the hard-won wisdom of survivors, served as a powerful reminder of the importance of empathy, compassion, and the need to stand up against injustice in all its forms. The task of rebuilding Rwanda extended far beyond the healing of individual wounds. It required a collective effort to reconstruct the nation's infrastructure, to revive its economy, and to create a more just and equitable society for all its citizens. The international community, recognizing the enormity of the challenge, pledged billions of dollars in aid, supporting a wide range of initiatives aimed at fostering sustainable development and promoting reconciliation. One of the most remarkable aspects of Rwanda's recovery was the active role played by women in rebuilding their communities. With so many men lost in the genocide or imprisoned for their crimes, women stepped into leadership roles, taking charge of households, farms, and businesses. Their resilience, determination, and unwavering commitment to their families and communities became a driving force in the nation's recovery. The government of Rwanda, led by President Paul Kagame, implemented a series of ambitious reforms aimed at promoting unity, reconciliation, and economic development. The establishment of Gacaca courts, a traditional system of community justice, played a significant role in providing a platform for victims and perpetrators to confront each other, to seek forgiveness, and to begin the process of healing. The road to recovery was not without its critics. Some argued that the government's focus on unity and reconciliation came at the expense of addressing human rights concerns and promoting political dissent. Others questioned the effectiveness of the Gacaca courts, arguing that they lacked the capacity to deliver true justice for the victims of the genocide. The pursuit of justice for the victims of the Rwandan genocide proved to be a complex and challenging endeavor. The scale of the atrocities, the sheer number of perpetrators, and the destruction of evidence presented formidable obstacles to holding those responsible accountable for their crimes. The International Criminal Tribunal for Rwanda, established by the United Nations in 1994, played a crucial role in prosecuting high-level perpetrators, but its mandate was limited, and its impact on the ground remained a subject of debate. The ICTR, based in Arusha, Tanzania, indicted over 90 individuals for genocide, crimes against humanity, and war crimes. Its trials, though criticized for their slow pace and high cost, marked a significant step towards ending impunity for perpetrators of mass atrocities. The tribunal's judgments, though sometimes controversial, set important legal precedents and sent a clear message that those responsible for such crimes would be held accountable. In addition to the ICTR, national courts in Rwanda and several other countries conducted trials of individuals accused of participating in the genocide. These trials, though often hampered by a lack of resources and capacity, played an important role in bringing perpetrators to justice and in demonstrating the commitment of the international community to ending impunity. The pursuit of justice extended beyond the courtroom. Efforts to track down and arrest fugitives from justice continued, with some suspects apprehended even decades after the genocide. The Rwandan government, determined to bring all perpetrators to account, offered rewards for information leading to their capture and extradition. The pursuit of justice for the victims of the Rwandan genocide remained an ongoing process, a testament to the enduring power of the human spirit to seek accountability, to demand recognition for the suffering endured, and to strive for a world where such horrors would never again be allowed to occur. Frida Umuhoza's story, once silenced by the horrors of the Rwandan genocide, found its voice amidst the collective efforts of her community and the international community to rebuild and heal. Her journey, from the depths of despair to a place of resilience and hope, mirrored the extraordinary transformation of her nation, a testament to the enduring power of the human spirit to overcome even the most unimaginable adversity. Frida's story became a beacon of hope, not only for her fellow survivors, but for people around the world struggling with the legacy of conflict and trauma. Her voice, once silenced by fear, now resonated on a global stage, amplifying the stories of countless others who had endured similar horrors. Through her art, her activism, and her unwavering commitment to justice and reconciliation, Frida became a symbol of the power of the human spirit to heal, to forgive, and to hope. Her story serves as a powerful reminder that even in the darkest of times, the human spirit can find the strength to rise above adversity, to rebuild shattered lives, and to create a more just and compassionate world. Her journey is a testament to the transformative power of storytelling, the importance of listening to and amplifying the voices of survivors, and the enduring belief in the possibility of healing, reconciliation, and hope. Frida Umuhoza's story is a testament to the indomitable spirit of humanity. Emerging from the ashes of unimaginable horror, she rose above the abyss of hatred, embodying the very essence of resilience. Her journey, from the depths of despair in the Rwandan Genocide to becoming a beacon of hope, underscores the extraordinary capacity of the human spirit to heal and forgive. It reminds us that even in the face of unspeakable acts, the innate desire for peace, unity, and compassion can pave the path toward a brighter future. The echoes of the Rwandan Genocide serve as a chilling reminder of the consequences of unchecked hatred and indifference. Yet, within the narrative of this tragedy, stories like Frida's emerge as a testament to the power of the human spirit to endure, to overcome, and to rebuild. Her story is not merely a tale of survival, it is a resounding call to action, urging us to confront injustice, to amplify the voices of the silenced, and to strive for a world where such atrocities are never repeated. The path towards healing and reconciliation is a long and arduous one, fraught with challenges and setbacks. Yet, as Frida's story exemplifies, the human capacity for empathy, forgiveness, and hope can illuminate even the darkest of times. Her journey serves as a beacon of inspiration, reminding us that even amidst the ruins, the seeds of compassion and understanding can take root and blossom, paving the way for a future where the echoes of hatred are replaced by the harmonious chorus of peace, unity, and shared humanity. Let Frida's story be a catalyst for change, igniting within each of us a steadfast commitment to confront injustice, to embrace empathy, and to champion the cause of peace and understanding in our world. Let us honor her journey and the countless others who have endured unimaginable suffering by striving to create a world worthy of their sacrifices, a world where the indomitable spirit of humanity shines brightly, illuminating the path towards a brighter and more just future for all.